Dr. Meredith made the brave decision to break the hospital's rules where she worked by choosing to proceed with surgery for a homeless person, even against administrative orders. This choice led to her dismissal, but what happened the next day was even more surprising. Hello, my friends. I am Linda, and this is the Linda's Stories channel. I hope you enjoy this story. Meredith was an extremely active and radiant child, with an unyielding spirit for seeking thrills and challenges. Her dreams were vast and varied, ranging from becoming a brave astronaut to a fearless police officer, or even piloting a fast airplane. However, the brightness and joy of Meredith's childhood days were about to be confronted by an impending darkness, bringing forth the darker aspects of human existence. Fate was ready to present her with a new set of challenges that would test her bravery and resilience like never before. Meredith's mother received a devastating diagnosis: severe kidney failure requiring an urgent kidney transplant. This news brought with it a flood of intense and dark emotions, casting a cloud of anxiety and sadness over the entire family. Meredith's daily routine now included constant visits to the hospital, where her mother spent long hours undergoing hemodialysis sessions. The medical environment, although filled with dedicated professionals and hope, also radiated a sense of uncertainty and vulnerability. Each hospital visit was a journey filled with fears and apprehensions. The family, united by love and concern, found themselves in an emotionally challenging crossroads. They had dealt with various life problems, such as financial difficulties, disagreements, or even divorces. But when the health of a loved one is threatened, there arises an overwhelming sense of powerlessness, a feeling of being completely defenseless in the face of the unknown. Meredith, even as a child, felt the weight of this reality. Her adventurous and bold spirit was now confronted with a situation that could not be overcome solely with courage and daring. Sadness settled in her heart as she witnessed her mother's struggle for life, unable to offer the immediate solution she wished for. Hospital visits became an intrinsic part of Meredith's daily routine. While her mother received hemodialysis treatment, the little girl took the opportunity to explore the hospital corridors. Sometimes she noticed her mother was asleep and cautiously ventured to observe the hard work of the doctors and nurses around her. Among the bright white corridors, Meredith witnessed moments of medical emergency. Machines beeped frantically, and a swift team was summoned to act promptly. She watched, with wide-eyed fascination, as those dedicated professionals brought back to life the critically ill patient. These profound experiences marked Meredith indelibly, making her see those healthcare professionals as true heroes. The girl noticed that unlike her, who could only watch her mother go through the healing process, those professionals had the power in their hands to relieve suffering and bring hope. They were endowed with knowledge, skills, and an unwavering dedication to restoring the health and life of those in need. Meredith's admiration for these healthcare professionals grew with each visit to the hospital. She dreamed of one day being able to follow in their footsteps, helping people, and having the power to heal in her own hands. Those scenes of medical emergencies turned into inspiration for the girl, nurturing a deep desire to become part of that world of rescue and healing. After a long wait, a compatible donor was finally found, and Meredith's mother received the long-awaited kidney transplant. The surgery was successful, and gradually, her mother's health began to recover. A new chance at life opened up for her and the whole family. The experience of closely following her mother's healing process profoundly transformed Meredith. She realized the power and impact that medicine could have on people's lives, igniting a burning passion within her. The girl grew up with new dreams and goals in life, and she didn't hesitate for a moment in choosing the profession she would pursue. She was determined to become a surgeon. Her heart throbbed with the desire to provide to other families what the doctors who cared for her mother had provided to her: hope, healing, and the opportunity to live fully again. The little girl who once dreamed of becoming an astronaut, a police officer, or a pilot found her true passion and calling in medicine, specifically in surgery. After many years of study, sacrifice, and financial investment, Meredith finally earned the title of surgeon. Now a fulfilled woman with her own family, she carried with her an admirable sense of duty. Her vocation led her to work in the hospital's emergency department, where she was responsible for the initial care of patients. Day after day, Meredith encountered a variety of cases, from victims of accidents to those who had been injured in fights or suffered accidental falls. To her, every patient who crossed her path was a potential miracle waiting to happen. Meredith never gave up as long as there was the slightest chance of life, knowing that there were family members waiting for news of hope. She gave her all, employing her experience and skills with precision and dedication. Meredith knew that her quick and precise action could make all the difference between life and death. Every incision, every suture, every surgical intervention was an act of love and commitment to life. She tirelessly strove to bring relief and hope to patients and their families. At the end of each day, even if there were cases where the battle for life was lost, Meredith felt her mission had been accomplished. She understood that, as a surgeon, she dealt with the fragility and complexity of human existence. Despite the losses, the feeling of having done everything within her power, of having given her utmost to provide a chance of recovery, brought a comforting peace. It was another busy day in the hospital emergency room when an ambulance hurriedly parked, bringing with it a young man of about 20. He had been shot during a fight in a drug trafficking area. Meredith immediately took charge of the emergency care. The young man had a serious abdominal injury with severe bleeding. Her first goal was to stabilize him and control the blood loss. With skill and dexterity, Meredith acted masterfully, applying the appropriate procedures to stabilize the young man, ensuring he had a chance of survival. The patient's condition was delicate. The severity of the injury indicated that internal organs had been affected, and he would need urgent surgery to repair the damage. Aware of the gravity of the situation, Meredith swiftly mobilized the surgical team, ensuring that all measures were taken to save the young man's life. As the young man was being prepared for surgery, an unexpected administrative obstacle arose. It was discovered that he did not have identification documents. In situations like this, according to the rules, after stabilizing the patient, he should be transferred to a public hospital. Meredith knew there was no time to lose. The young man needed surgery immediately. The hospital's chief physician had ordered Meredith to proceed with the patient's transfer, arguing that without proper documentation, the hospital could not bill for the care, meaning all expenses for the surgery would fall on the hospital. At the moment when the young man's life was at stake, Meredith knew there was no time for administrative discussions. She understood the urgency of the situation and ordered her team to proceed with the necessary surgery procedures. At this critical moment, the priority was to save the patient's life. Hours passed, and the operating room witnessed intense and meticulous work. Meredith and her team faced unforeseen challenges, controlling bleeding and dealing with other complications that arose during the procedure. Each member of the team's focus and dedication were absolute, as they shared the same sense of urgency and mission to save the young man's life. Finally, the hard work came to an end. Meredith had successfully completed the surgery. She knew the young person still had a long road ahead in terms of recovery, but she was confident she had done what was necessary to prioritize their life. As Meredith left the operating center, she received news that the chief doctor wanted to see her. She felt a tightness in her heart, knowing she would have to face the consequences of defying the relentless system in favor of a patient's life. Entering the chief doctor's office, Meredith prepared to justify her actions and explain why she chose to prioritize the surgery, disregarding administrative issues. However, to her surprise, the chief doctor didn't even give her a chance to explain herself. He simply handed Meredith a resignation letter. The dismissal was an unexpected blow to Meredith, especially considering her impeccable record and exemplary dedication to medicine. She had done her best to save lives and always acted with integrity and compassion. The chief doctor's decision seemed unfair and disproportionate to her conduct. The next day, Meredith woke up with a mix of bittersweet feelings, reflecting the unexpected dismissal and the injustice she felt. She was determined to move forward, even if it meant facing new challenges and uncertainties. Arriving at the hospital, Meredith was prepared to go through the final formalities and bid farewell to some people she had worked with during her journey. However, as she entered the premises, she was surprised by an unexpected scene. The chief doctor, the same one who had dismissed her, approached her with tears in his eyes. In a surprising gesture, he knelt before Meredith, leaving her perplexed. This image was familiar to Meredith, who had witnessed it countless times when informing families about the health status of their loved ones. Wordlessly, Meredith watched the chief doctor in his posture of humility and vulnerability. The tears in his eyes reflected regret and belated understanding. She could feel the sincerity in his actions, and the scene touched her heart. Meredith helped the chief doctor to his feet, and at that moment, he revealed that the young person she had saved the day before was his son. He explained that the young man had disappeared a few months ago when he got involved with drugs. The tears in his eyes were a mixture of relief, gratitude, and belated regret. Moved by the revelation, Meredith could understand the magnitude of the situation. She felt empathy for the chief doctor, who had gone through the suffering of seeing his son involved in a dangerous and uncertain path. She realized that her actions the day before not only saved the young man's life, but also brought hope and a second chance to his family. The chief doctor took the opportunity to apologize for the harshness of his actions and the abrupt dismissal. He expressed his deep remorse for not recognizing Meredith's dedication and value earlier. In a gesture of humility, he asked if Meredith would accept to return to her position at the hospital. With a renewed heart and determination, Meredith promptly accepted the offer to return to the hospital. She knew now more than ever that she was on the right path and that she had been called to medicine for a greater purpose. It was to bring relief, healing, and hope to the people she had chosen this profession for. Meredith's story reminds us that, although we face challenges and obstacles, it is essential to remain steadfast in our values and beliefs. It is necessary to follow our inner truth, even if it means facing adversity and going against the tide. If you enjoyed, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment with a number from 1 to 5 to let us know how much you liked the story. Also, watch the video that is currently on your screen. See you soon.